In this video, you will learn on how I had a $17,000 a day at the age of 19 without leaving this room, right? So if you're interested in starting a legitimate business online without leaving the comfort of your own home, then this video is for you, right? This video isn't for you if you're some 15-year-old kid trying to make $100 and the only $100 you want to make. This video is for those that are interested in starting some type of business online without having to work for somebody, right? So chances are if you're watching this and you're young, great for you because you took the step to research and learn how to make money online. Chances are your friends, they're probably 1, jerking off, 2, playing video games, or 3, just messing around. So literally, thank you for watching this video because you're going to learn a ton, and I'm going to show you on how I did it and the fact that I started at the age of 14 doing what I'm going to show you, except my success didn't pick up till the age of really 18 and 19 years old, and right now I'm 20 years old, right? So for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is David, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, the little notification bell, and smash that thumbs up. And on top of that, if you really want to be successful in what I'm going to teach you in this video, be sure to join the Facebook group down below because it's hands down, I would argue, probably the most in-depth Facebook group that actually teaches you the art and science of selling online, and this is what this video is going to be about, right? So let's really jump right into it and not waste any time. So let's get my face out of the way here, and this is where everything starts, right? All success starts on Google.com, right? I currently attend the University of Google, and so do you. The University of YouTube, because you're watching YouTube videos on how to be successful in life. So this is what you do, guys. And this is what I did when I got started a few years back. You type in Amazon.com, right? You literally just type in Amazon.com and it's going to take you to Amazon.com. And if you live in the States, you or your parents or everybody literally shops on Amazon.com, right? And what I did at the age of 19 is simply selling product that I private labeled and created a brand around and imported from either China or different countries around the world, and I sent it to Amazon's warehouse and they did all the fulfillment. So I literally did not leave this chair, I didn't leave this room, and I was able to do that. I didn't have to physically go somewhere and work physically to do this, right? Yeah, it took a lot of work, a lot of hard effort, and it was somewhat a little bit stressful, but honestly, now that I'm 20 years old and I look back, I have like all the financial freedom and I'm somewhat set for my future because I'm still in college, but I've never had a job in my life and I don't plan on it. So let's really jump right into it. So what you have to realize is Amazon has this thing called Amazon Prime, and they offer 2-day shipping on millions of items, including literally everything from, computers to the weirdest things like food and things like that. And what you do is you find products to sell on Amazon that are not competitive. And you might hear some stories, you might be researching online, then people are saying that Amazon's too competitive, it's too saturated, there's too many sellers, people from China are selling. And this is all, somewhat partially true. And I'm not going to say it's not, but if you follow this video and you listen to me, at least take some type of action to do what I teach, it's going to be hard for you to fail. Like, you're going to have to go out of your way to fail as long as you follow on what I teach you in this video, right? So once you're on Amazon.com, I personally don't start my searches here, but the idea is to find a product you're familiar with or at least understand a little bit that's doing well on Amazon. And in order to do that, you have to have some Chrome extensions, and these are paid tools, right? And they're not expensive or anything like that. There's going to be a link in the description to actually get 50% off your first month from one of these extensions. But one of them is called Product Discovery by Viral. And in order to find it, just use the link in the description. It is an affiliate link. I make a little money off of you. It's literally like buying me a cup of coffee or a beer at the bar. I don't make a crazy amount of money off of you, but it's literally going to save you 50% off, meaning you're only going to have to pay either $15, $25, depending on what version you get. It's not going to be that expensive, guys. And remember, in order to make money and start legitimate businesses, you have to invest a little bit of money, right? So once you sign up, it's going to take you to a screen like this. You hit Product Discovery and you hit Search, right? And it takes you here, and what you're going to do if you have a brand new Amazon account, right? You've never sold before, maybe you haven't even opened your Amazon account. Amazon actually prevents many new sellers from selling in a lot of categories to prevent issues. So if you're new, you're only going to be able to sell in the categories that I check right here, right? So they don't allow you to sell in many categories because they want to prevent people from selling fake stuff and things that create a lot of issues. So if you're brand new, mark all the categories that I'm pretty much checking right now because these are going to be the only categories you could sell in, right? So once you have that, you want to look for products that are at least selling on Amazon and doing close to, 500 units a month personally, right? So just do the math on that, right? Like, 500 units a month, that comes out to close to, 12, 15 units per day, which is doable. So all you have to find is a product that's doing anywhere from, 12, 15 units a day and maybe $5 profit or $10 profit, and you're making yourself some good passive income, right? And I like to cap it off at a max of about 1,500 units a month, because I don't want to see products that are just crushing it, because a lot of the time, they're not good products to sell, or they're very competitive. With a monthly revenue, a minimum, right? I'm going to do 3,000 for this video because I know a lot of people are starting out and they don't have a lot of capital to invest into this type of business model, with a max of about $7,500 a month, right? And then the review count, right? So this is where it gets interesting, because the review count is super important on Amazon, because there's categories on Amazon that are very competitive, and you can never sell a product on Amazon just because the top, 3 or 5, 10 positions all have thousands of reviews. So there's no way for you to really compete with that, which is important to put a review count of at least 30, because if you have at least 30 reviews, or, listings that have a max of 30 reviews, they're not very competitive, and you have a good chance of actually making decent money selling on Amazon. And everything I'm showing you is preparing private label and, product research and everything for the 2018 year. So a lot of the videos that show you on how to make money online on Amazon and start private label businesses are great for, if you were starting out in 2015 or 2016 and even 2017. But this video is literally preparing people for 2018. So if you're watching this, literally sit to the end, because you're going to learn a ton, and I guarantee you, if you at least implement what I'm going to show you and teach you and try and get you in the right mindset, you will be successful. So number of sellers, this is where you want to cap it off at 3, because you want to avoid listings like, video games where there's like 100 people selling the same video game, because you can't, source that video game from China or any other country around the world. So put a number of sellers at a max of 3, leave them in blank, and then sales to review, you always want to make sure you have at least 5 to, I'm going to do about 60 for the sake of the video, and I'm going to explain to you on what sales to review ratio is, and I'm going to break it down to you step by step on how to analyze it and how to analyze entire markets on Amazon and how to source these products. So keep watching, because it's about to get interesting. So once you have these filters set, right, always play around with the filters, maybe, see how they work, see what other products you can find, but always mess around with these filters. Don't do exactly what I'm doing, but you want to kind of, get the gist or the overall idea of what I'm doing here, right? So once you have that, I like to sort the products based on the BSR, which I'm going to be talking about. The BSR simply means the best seller ranking. The lower the BSR, right? So with the BSR of 562, that means a product is doing very, very well, right? Think of it as a marathon. People that are running at the end of the marathon aren't doing that well, right? They're probably out of shape, they didn't prepare for it, they're not ready. And people that are in the, top 1,000, like here, 562 in the marathon, are probably doing very, very well, and they're in shape and they're successful in what they do. So the lower the BSR, the better, and that means the bestseller ranking. So when you're here, the first thing you're going to want to do is start analyzing these products. As you can see here, we have the BSR, the monthly sales on how much these products are selling. We have the monthly revenue of how much they're doing. And remember, we set these filters, so it's not going to show us anything that's outside of these filters. It's all going to be products that are within our filters. So price points, the number of reviews, and the number of sellers. So a lot of these are going to be other people's private label products that are very successful on Amazon right now. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to start analyzing these products. And I said this video is for those of you that are starting out in 2018, because it's pretty much the end of 2017 right now. And my 2 things that I'm all about, honestly 3 things that nobody really teaches, is creating like sets, bundles, gift sets, things like that, and pretty much bundling things and creating packs that you can't buy in retail stores. And that's why I've been able to be so successful since I got started in 2015, and that's why I was able to do close to $300,000 in sales last year of 2016 at the age of 19, because I did this a long time ago. And the reason people are successful right now is because they're doing it in 2017 and 2018. So as you can see here, these are type of sets and like toolkits and stuff like that that are very successful, because you can't buy this in a store. You can't walk into Walmart and buy all these tools together. So once you start finding similar products like this, you're going to want to start going through them and start analyzing them. And the more you do this, the better you get. But you're going to start realizing something, that a lot of the successful products that aren't very competitive are, what I'm saying, are bundled and put in a pack that you can't find in a store. So here's another tool that you might have to subscribe to other than Product Discovery, and it's called Market Intelligence. And they have a web app, and then they also have a Chrome extension. And in order to do what I'm doing in this video and save a ton of time and be very successful, is you're going to need both. But like I said, there's links to both of them where you get discount 50% off your first month, and it's going to save you so much time. Like, at least subscribe for a month and see how you like it, see if you find any products, and just cancel if this isn't for you. If, you know, starting a legitimate business and selling online isn't for everybody, but for those of you that are really interested, at least give it a shot. You know, with the links down below, you save 50%. So I think it's worth it. So what you do here is, once you have a product that looks interesting, you look at the product idea score, and what this is pretty much artificial intelligence that's going to tell you the overall product and the product idea score. So you really want to look for products that are at least 4, 4.5, or 5 stars. So here we have a product that's about 3.5 stars, which I personally would just skip and move on, right? So let's skip that product because, you know, overall, I just don't see a lot of potential in it. And let's just keep moving forward and see what we have here. So here we have some Christmas decorations, and as you can see here, they're doing pretty well, but you could assume that it's a seasonal product, right? No one's buying Christmas decorations in the summer and stuff like that. So I personally am not a fan of like very seasonal items, especially sourcing them during the season. You know, seasonal items are very, very profitable and they sell very well. You just have to have proper, you know, inventory management, and you have to source them like 6 months in advance, right? So let's skip any type of seasonal products we see here right now, anything that has to do with Christmas, and keep moving forward here and see what we come up with. So here we have some cross wooden candle. So let's take a look at this. They have 16 customer reviews. It's 20 sets, and that really brings me back to one of my first points is, you know, that's the reason a lot of people are successful on Amazon, is because they're selling sets and packs and bundles that you can't really, you know, buy in the store. So let's run Market Intelligence and analyze this listing really quickly and see what the product idea score is. So once again, we have about 3.5 stars. Personally, I would, you know, skip this, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to hang on to it just to see if we don't find anything better. So once again, we have a lot of, you know, wrapping paper, tape, things like that it's just successful right now because of the month of December. So let's keep moving forward here and see if we could come up with any other products that might be doing well. So we have some baby goat hair brushes, things like that. We got tape for a roll of 40. So once again, I highly doubt you can buy a roll of 40 in the store. So they're doing very, very well. Let's see what else we have here. Christmas lights sell very well during the holidays. So right now we got some safety pins that are doing pretty well. So let's keep moving forward and really see if we could come across a perfect product. And I'm pretty, you know, good at this product research stuff. And throughout the years of doing this, you kind of have an eye for certain products, and you see what sells well and what doesn't, because you know markets on Amazon, and you really understand the Amazon customer and why they're buying what they're buying. And the reason people shop on Amazon is, 1, for convenience, and 2, because they're just lazy to shop around and buy things in sets and bundles. They rather just buy some type of listing right away on Amazon and have everything included in it. So let's see if we could see. So ribbons, once again, this is all stuff that sells well during the holidays. Probably doesn't do that well during the summer. So let's keep, okay, so here we have something cool, right? Let's just pretend this, because this is like the 10th page. So let's just say we're interested in this product. So let's run Market Intelligence to analyze this product itself and see if it's a good product to source from China. So it has a BSR of about 3,000, which is good. You know, it's not terrible. It's doing about $10,000 in monthly revenue. So close to $11,000 in monthly revenue, which is really, really good. It's $12.99. That's what it sells for. After the fees, after Amazon's fees, because once again, guys, I don't fulfill anything. Everything's sent into Amazon's fulfillment center, and they do all the packing, so they obviously charge a fee for that. And here's the fee broken down. You know, there's inventory fees, about 12 cents since it's a small product, and then there's shipping fees which is $2.88. That's for UPS to deliver the package in 2 days for Prime members. And then there's a 15% fee to list on Amazon. So that comes out to $1.95. So after everything, you're making about $8, right? And that's not included the price of the product. So what we would want to do is we would want to analyze the entire market for that product, not just a single listing, right? So the way you do this is you open the product up in Amazon and copy one of the main keywords in the title, right? And you figure that out by just looking at the product. So what are we looking at here? It's a sewing kit, right? As you can see here, there's a ton of different products that come in this kit. And that's the reason it's so successful. I guarantee you, if you walk into, a Walmart or Target, maybe a Michael's or whatever other store, you probably can't buy everything in this kit together. And that's why companies like this, that's the reason why I'm able to be so successful on Amazon 2 years later and continue to be successful in 2018, 2019, is simply selling products that you can't find and source in retail stores. And the way you analyze an entire market, whether it's worth pursuing and selling on Amazon for that market, you literally take one of the main keywords. So sewing kit, and you search it. And this is where the Chrome extension really comes into hand. Market intelligence will literally analyze the entire market for that keyword, right? So it's going to analyze all these listings, and it's going to take averages, and it's going to use its, intelligence and everything to tell you whether it's a good product idea to source or not. So let's take a look at this really quickly. So even though there's a lot of reviews on some of these products, it doesn't mean that you can't compete. And this is where the sales to review ratio is going to come in. This is going to be my third point that I really hope everybody looks into when getting started. So the reason it takes a little bit of time, it's because it's pulling in all the averages from the top, top page. So about the top 25 results, 24 in this case. And as you can see here, the product idea score is 4.5 stars, which is amazing, right? So take a look at this. The first page, they have a BSR of 129, 257, 234, 482, 72, 17. So they're all very low. That means this is a popular product. A lot of these are doing close to $50,000, 25, 60, 42, 28, $55,000 in sales. All of them are close to the same price point, right? We don't have any crazy outliers that are, $2 or some that are $100, nothing like that. Then it calculates the fees. It tells us how well they're selling. So some of these are doing close to 4,000 units a month. The amount of reviews, so some of them are very competitive. As you can see here, close to 600 reviews, 614. But if you scroll down, there's some that are still killing it with 19 reviews, doing $10,000 a month with the sales to review ratio of 25. So as you can see here, that the sales to review ratio is a very important factor to look into that no one's teaching and no one's really talking about. But the sales to review ratio is essentially the competition and the leverage you could get based on the reviews other listings have. So personally, I like to aim for listings that have above 10. Anything over 25 is amazing. Anything above 50 is like a home run. Like, wow, they're very not common. So it's very rare you're going to find that, but they're out there. I have found some in my previous videos. So if you want to check those out, watch some of my different videos on product research on my YouTube channel. But let's take one of these listings that has a product sales to review ratio of 26. So they're doing 2,042 sales a month. So let's take that divided by the amount of reviews they have, which is 77 reviews, which is not a lot of reviews. And then you get the sales to review ratio of 26.5. So let's round up. It's about 27. And what that means, it means if they were to generate an extra review, so if they were to have 78 reviews, you would just take that number and then you would multiply it by 78 reviews, and that's how much more sales you'd be getting. So 26 more sales every review you get. So that's not really the case because we don't live in a perfect world, but it's very, very typical and something you should pay attention to based on the market. And since Viral Launch is super cool, they actually tell you the entire market trends because they keep track of millions of products. And as you can see here, it's pretty steady, right? So it does very well in March. Then we see some dips here, then it goes back up, dips again, goes back up. And for the past, year, about a year and a half, it's been pretty steady. It goes up and down, and that's very, very typical for most products. And rate of review increase, so about 11 reviews per month. That's how much all the listings are getting on average. The best selling period's May. Let's analyze the viral analysis. So right here, it says, looks like a home run product. the sales pattern analysis is declining, and we could assume it's declining because maybe some people buy this stuff for Christmas, and Christmas is a few days away, so that's probably one of the reasons this product is doing well. But if we look at the graph, the best month to sell this is May. So that doesn't mean it's a bad product, it just means it's doing really well right now. So this looks all really good, right? So we found ourselves a product that you can't find in the store. It's a set, it's a kit, it's a good giftable product for Christmas. It does very, very well. So now we have to source it and find a supplier overseas to get it in wholesale and create our own brand like all these other companies are doing right here on the first page, right? So what we do is you go to a website called Alibaba. It's called Alibaba.com. And here you were going to find and source suppliers to find sewing kits, right? And it's easy as that. And all you do on how you find them, you take the main keyword again, and then you throw it into the search bar, and you search literally millions of suppliers that make these kits. One thing I want to mention is I want you guys to be safe on here. There's a lot of scammers and people that, you know, might not be honest. So one important thing to really filter out all those scammers and dishonest people is to mark gold suppliers. So it's going to show you gold suppliers that are selling these kits that are, you know, honest, and they've been on here for 11 years. You know, some have been here for 1 year. So be very hesitant on who you work with. But personally, I like to sort them based on, you know, gold supplier, whether they offer trade assurance, which is almost like an escrow service on here. And then I like to do transaction level, right? So those that do a lot of volume on here. And as you can see here, they did close to 24 transactions. They did $210,000 through Alibaba and the trade assurance platform on here. So once you have that, you want to start pretty much creating a list of all these manufacturers from China. So as you can see here, 8 years, 12 years, 3 years, 7 years, 12 years, 15 years. I mean, there's, you know, hundreds of them for products like this. And one thing I want you to mention is I'm not really going to go through everything, you know, by adding the suppliers to a list, you know, contacting them and things like that. But for those of you that want a template on how to get started and how to contact these suppliers and get very good competitive rates on these products in wholesale, join the Facebook group down below. When you join and get accepted, there's going to be a little link there that's going to allow you to download the template that I use to get the best pricing. And this is what I've been using for, you know, literally 2-3 years to source from China and different countries around the world and get very competitive rates from these suppliers. So if you want that, be sure to join the Facebook group. But I'm really just going to skip ahead because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours. But other than that, what you're going to do is you're going to see that a lot of these are very similar. And the number one thing I recommend everybody to do is look at the first page of Amazon and be like, how could I be different? How could I stand out from the crowd? How could I stand out from the first page? And how could I be different? So there's so much you could do. There's so much other things you could offer in these sets to be different. And that's, you know, maybe making your set twice the size. Maybe making your set half the size, maybe adding different colors. Maybe you could create a gift, you know, a sewing kit that's geared towards more like females and one towards more that it's geared towards males, right? You never know. So there's very different things you could do to stand out. But for the sake of the video and just to, you know, prove my point and keep moving forward with what I do and what you could honestly implement as soon as today and tomorrow and start sourcing products as soon as next week once you do order samples, is you want to look at some of the prices, right? So on average, these sewing kits are going for, you know, somewhere 80 cents to $1.20. These are, you know, 65 cents to about $4, $2, $3, $2. So on average, right? On average, I feel like you could get this product to Amazon's warehouse for about $4, right? And that's shipped. You know, getting it shipped, ordering 500 units, 1,000 units, maybe 1,500 units for $4. Right? I think you could get them shipped to Amazon's warehouse for $4.50. So let's go back to the first page right here and just to see on how much these people are selling on Amazon and how much they're generating in profit for the month of December really quickly right here. So we're going to let market intelligence work their magic really quickly again because, you know, it does analyze the 25 product listings on the first page. So let's give it a moment right here very quickly. Let me grab a sip of coffee. Ah, man. Love coffee. Okay, cool. So we click the margin and then we enter our landed unit cost. And landed unit cost simply means the cost of the product that our suppliers are going to charge us and then the cost of getting it from China to Amazon's warehouse. So I'm going to be on the conservative side. Fine, guys, I'll be super conservative and boot $5. It's probably going to be cheaper depending on how much you order, but let's just say our cost is $5. We could see that this is how much we're making. So some people are losing money because they're selling kits that are a lot cheaper, right? So $7.99 is very cheap. Chances are we're going to want to source a kit that's a little bit more expensive. You know, one of like a nicer kits, so something like this, that's maybe $1, $2. This one's $1.70. So you really have to contact these people and negotiate these deals. So, but let's just pretend that it's, you know, $4.50, $5. You could see that some of the ones that are selling it for about, you know, the $15, $20 range are making close to $20,000 in profits. $10,000, you know, $5,000, $1,500 selling these kits. And a lot of that varies depending on the kit you get and everything, but that's kind of my point, guys. So once you have a manufacturer or a few manufacturers that you see you want to potentially private label and create your own brand, you want to reach and get samples. So don't just, you know, wire somebody $2,000, $3,000. You want to order samples from these suppliers and see who has the best sewing kits and try the samples, you know, let friends and family use them and see which one's the best quality. And sometimes it's honestly better to pay a little bit more and get better quality and sell your product for $18.97 instead of $7.99. Right? Take a look at this. I mean, it's double the price and you get double the things, but you know, the price difference is really not that much. This person is probably making, you know, close to $8, $9 a sale and he's doing like $3,000, $4,000 a month, right? So it's really easy as that, guys. And once you do have these products, you're going to want to come to Amazon and create the listing, get professional product photography done. So all of these are very, you know, optimized listings. So I got very lucky right now because none of this was planned out in this video. I'm just literally click record and I was hoping this would happen and it did. But as you can see here, that this listing right here has very good product photography. Everything's laid out very nice. So many people when they shop on Amazon, people are getting lazy. Amazon customers are lazy. They don't read a lot of this, right? For cheap products that are under 20 bucks, most people aren't going to spend more than 2 minutes reading this stuff, right? So what you want to focus on is once you do have, you know, a few hundred units or a few thousand of your product, you really want to hire a professional photographer to do product photography. And as you can see here, this isn't professional at all. Some of these pictures actually suck, but the main one here is very important because that's all the customers see. So make sure that your main image is important and you have to optimize your titles, your bullets, and your descriptions. Right? So as you can see here, they have very, you know, A+ content things. And, you know, that's a lot more information that I could talk about that I really don't want to get into this video because it's just a general way on making money. So I want to be very broad about everything in this video, but I just really want to, you know, show you the process of finding products, creating bundles and kits, you know, contacting the suppliers, you know, contacting 30 of them, 40 of them at a time, and then getting the prices from them and then sourcing 2 to 3, 4 samples from different ones that give you the best pricing. And from there, you know, creating a different listing and getting professional product photography. And then from there, there's a little bit more to it, like launching on Amazon, you know, getting friends and family to purchase your product, leave some reviews, giving some away for free to people. And a lot of it just comes down to finding a good product. So I'm going to start wrapping this video up, and I really hope for those of you that are watching this far, I really hope you could take 3 things away from this video in order to be successful in 2018 with Amazon private label. And that is simply source products that are at least in a kit, a bundle, a set, or, you know, some type of do-it-yourself type of thing because it's huge. And understand your, you know, your niche and your customer on what they're buying and why they're buying it, like the rhetoric that goes behind why someone would buy this right here. And that brings me to my second point. That is, you know, just selling things that you can't find in retail stores. You know, something you can't really walk into Walmart or, you know, Michael's or Target and pick off the shelf for this price, right? And then the third point is paying attention to the sales to review ratio and really looking for products that have a sales to review ratio of about above 10 to about 25. Anything above that, you're really going to be extra successful. And that's honestly it, guys. It's really that simple. People like to overcomplicate it. You know, there's a little bit more to it. There's a little bit more involved. You have to be a little, but if you're actually really serious about learning this stuff, be sure to join the Facebook group called Sellerology down below in the description. That's my Facebook group. I'm in there. I'm super active. So if you have any questions or if you want me to take a look at your product and let you know if it's a good product, if it's a good idea, just be sure to join. Message me on there, message in the Facebook group, comment, get involved, learn as much as you can. But other than that, guys, this was a completely honest video that I completely just winged and it worked out very, very well. But other than that, guys, you know what to do. So peace.